So as many of you know, I make tons of different types of fountains for all the different birds here. Many of them are for the hummingbirds, but a lot of different birds use the fountains I make, not just because they're fun and exciting, but because they need water, whether it's to drink or bathe. Now, some of you have said you've had issues with pumps. Of course, we're going to have issues with the pumps periodically, but I'm going to say, please, whatever you do, don't throw them away. 99% of the time when I've had an issue with the water pump, it is fixable. Sometimes there's nothing more than getting a speck of dirt out. We're going to go over the different types of issues we can have with a pump. And you know what? Not only will these issues be with a solar fountain pump, but it can be with a USB pump as well as one that is electric completely, that you would have to plug into an outlet. In other words, they're all basically the same. So we're going to go today through some of the ways that we can fix it, or at least check them out. With today's video, I'm going to show you how to fix a wire. And you have to come to me and tell me what issues you're having so I can put something together for you and for others that are having the same problem. Mine, they end up sitting here in a pile until I get to them, but I always get to them. Now here is an interesting solar fountain kit pump we're going to fix today. Why? Because it's got two issues. Now last year I had to fix it, which is working, but we're going to have to kind of tweak that one too. But this is another issue. Yes, it got chewed up by a rodent. So I already took the wires, stripped them, and put them together. Just as I did in the other video, same pump, same fountain. So what I did here is put hot glue on it. See that? I'm using my power unit in the back to plug it in and heat up my glue gun. Now I'm cooling it down, and we're going to do this one differently than we did last year. Okay, it's working, but we've got an issue where the flower is. Now that's the part I fixed last year. Now this part, again, got chewed. We need to just kind of put it together where the wires are having the issue and make sure it's running. See how we're watching it in the cup? Now I want to make sure that cools down, because right now the wires are touching perfect to continue to run. It was just a flaw. It came loose or something got in there over the year. It's been 10 months, so it's been running for that long. But like I said, if it gets bumped, it doesn't go on. Okay, let me turn it. It is running. We're going to put a little more hot glue on there, and I put the flower on for fun. Now, what I'm going to do differently on this one that I just repaired, as I did earlier last year, is I'm putting a straw around it. Now, you saw me split the straw in half, snap it on like I do a lot of my fountains that I make, and I'm filling it with hot glue. Now, why? Because nothing's going to pull that or make it come loose. The only way now to stop this pump from working is cutting it in half, because that straw is going to hold the wire inside and the two parts that were put together. This is perfect. That break is actually stronger than it was before, at least in that spot, because the wire is just a wire. But now it's got security around that spot. It is now solid as a rock. Let's see. Oh, fantastic. It is working. Easy fix. You don't even need a lot of tools. Now I'm putting it outside. Gonna put it all back together. This is a table mount fountain that I bought decades ago, really over 30 years ago. And I converted it to solar for the birds because it's one of those that had an electric pump. Now I just have to put the little nozzle, the way I fixed it up, back in the center and just sit it there and hang it up, you know, wherever I'm gonna put my solar panel for the sun. And it's going to be working again. This one's been fixed in two different spots. Now, instead of throwing this unit away, and yes, you can get them for anywhere from $10 to $20, why not fix it when you can? They rarely break. There it is. It is trickling down. It's a very slow trickle on this one. It's got to go through the 3 layers of rocks, but it is working. So I'm going to hang the solar fountain up. I have it on a stand that I made, this one. And look at that. See the fix where I've got it in two places where there was a flower on the first fix last year, and now the straw? You can't get any better than that. This is really cool. I don't know what Zoe's doing. She found something in the dirt that she likes and she wants to rub her face in there, but you know, so be it. The life of a dog. And now my fountain is working again. I don't need to put a new solar fountain kit on there and waste my money when this is going to run probably for another 2-3 years. Some of my fountain kits are like 5 and 6 years old. So many of you have told me, put it out for a couple months and it stopped working. Well, we're going to get into that in a few minutes. But if you've got issues, tell me your issues because I can throw something together. I think I know these pumps almost completely inside and out. Is that not cool? There it is. All done. Now, the thing I have to do here, which is important with all your fountains, especially when you have such a shallow one like this, is to level it the best I can. Am I getting a leveler out and going to do the fancy stuff? No, I'm sticking some twigs underneath, and now it will trickle down all the rocks and it will work. And I'm happy. Zoe's happy. And the birds that are going to come in, take a drink, a small bath, they're happy too. I flush this one out when I'm doing my garden and watering. I just take the hose. She wants to see, and I just flush it out. And when it gets really dirty, I just take it in, wash it down. If you want to scrub it with something, baking soda is really safe and good to use, and then put it back outside. Normally, flushing it with a hose is perfect. But there it is, all done and working. Now, let me show you real quick the inside of the pump and explain to you what happens. There's so many of them, but I'm just glad this one with 2 brakes is working now. Cool. You don't need a lot of tools. Just keep in mind, if you've got a glue gun, a scissors, you can fix it. Now here is the pump that's open. Now I have a lot of videos on how to open it. This one had a filter. I took the filter out. I feel that sometimes when the filter gets blocked, it could be just like dust getting through the water. It's working the pump harder. So mine don't have filters. It's, to me, a waste. But that's up to you. Now there it is. I took it apart, flushed it out. There was just a little bit of dirt inside with where that flywheel was. Now leave your comments on what problems you're having so I can make individual videos on the individual problems. We'll get into more issues so you can look each one up, but I hope this helped you out. I'll be sure to read through the comments. And with that, have a wonderful day and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye and happy fountaining. Is that a word? And as you can see, this little Toey was so excited to find his fountain back working in his spot because you know what? A lot of birds have favorite water fountains that they like to go to. So now we have a very happy little Toey, along with all the other birds that are going to use it. Remember, don't throw these pumps away. There's pretty much a fix for almost any problem that you may encounter. And keep an open mind on when you're making fountains. This one, I'm looking at it, I'm going to tweak this. I'm taking it apart to make it easier for a lot of different birds to use. And these hanging ones with the floating disc, you can clean and fix the motors in those too. They don't have a wire, so you won't have to worry about that. But you know what's funny? Sometimes the birds get on top, and if they create a shadow over the disc where the solar panels are, the water shuts off. See? And they don't understand, why is the water off? Why is it going on and off? Oh, there's so many fountains we can make. Please check out all the videos, but I've got so much more coming.